At every single turn, government distorts the housing markets. They just do. I don't care whether it's the Bank of Canada. And that's not government, Ron. Screw it. It's government. Come on. It's there. We can't replace it. We can't do anything about it. If it's in charge, I'm going to call it government. Okay, that's it. So the Bank of Canada distorts markets, though they don't like to use that word, but it's true. They distort markets through changing their rate, the Bank of Canada rate, on a consistent basis. They change it a lot. They changed it more constantly than in past. And they change it through quantitative easing and quantitative tightening. They change the bond market, which drives mortgage rates. So they're doing it all the time. Government, the actual federal government, because the provinces don't play into it as much, but the federal government distorts housing markets all the time. Let's talk about the most recent big distortion that they're involved with, that they're actually pushing relentlessly in ways that some people just don't understand, because it's background stuff. It's stuff to do with financing that the public just doesn't really know. So what is it they're doing? They are actively, relentlessly, powerfully creating a incentive for rentals. Yeah. So let's break it down. That's where all the money is going today. That's where every dime of government money is going to. Oh, wait, Ron, they still have the CMHC program. They still have the first-time buyers plan. All true. Let me get to that in a minute. But first of all, let me tell you what they're spending on rentals, because it's massive. First of all, Build Canada Homes, the famous Carneyville modular yurts, the signature housing policy the federal government ran on last election. It's just rentals. They just admit it now. They don't try to hide it. They don't advertise that it's only rentals, but they don't deny it either. So it's like that. Hey, we can still fool most of them. We'll still fool most of them. Think it's going to help them buy a house when it's not. So Build Canada Homes, Carneyville modular yurts, is just about rental. It's about subsidized housing, social housing. Look, I'm not fighting social housing. Every big country with a big economy like ours has social housing. Everywhere you go, maybe not in the very poorest countries, not in the third world. Even there's some of it. But there's social housing. There's housing the state builds and has and keeps and rents out at reduced rents, so that people who's struggling, obviously desperately needing housing, can afford to live. That exists. So, but that's all that Build Canada Homes is. It's social homes, it's social housing, it's underwriting those costs, it's building those units, and it's rentals. That's it. That's all it is. There's no houses to buy in Build Canada Homes. Doesn't exist. Next. And let's talk about the budget. That's $13 billion to Build Canada Homes. Next, $20 billion to CMHC, but not for houses to buy. It's $20 billion for purpose-built rentals. It's all rentals. And that is the only growing, surviving construction market in Canada is for rentals. Okay. It's the only thing that's going on in Ontario right now. The only new starts. If you see a tower just starting today, that's a purpose-built rental. If you see some townhouses being built today, in all likelihood, that's just a rental. I'm talking about stuff that's just starting now. Okay. They're just digging their hole now. Okay. That's what it is. And that's what that $20 billion is for. That $20 billion increase to CMHC's allocation is for rentals. There's nothing in it for. You want to know the truth about? I told you I'd tell you the truth. The truth about CMHC for homeowners is it's at its lowest point in mortgage lending in maybe forever. Okay, it's the truth. So yes, there's bigger mortgages, and yes, they raise the limits, and yes, they have. There's parts of Canada where you can still make sense of a CMHC mortgage because you have to hit certain criteria of debt servicing, and that means you need bigger incomes. But let's just make it clear. All the recent stats show us clearly that mortgages not insured by CMHC, far outpacing any mortgages that are insured by CMHC. When I started this business of mortgages 30 years ago, half of everything we touched was CMHC. Half of all the purchases were CMHC, whether it's new construction, particularly new construction, and also in resale. Nope, gone. It's down to like 12%, 14%. Some depends on the province. It could be a little better. It could be a little worse. But yeah, the number of conventional mortgages in place versus, and for all banks, all lenders, versus high ratio mortgages, which is what we refer to as CMHC, that there's other people who do it. There's Canada Guarantee, there's Sagen, but the category is high ratio mortgage. That's fallen. And the conventional side continues to grow, and CMHC aggregate number of mortgages continues to shrink, okay? Yeah, they might point to the program. Government says, no, we have this great program for CMHC, and we have a first-time buyers program, great programs. Yeah, we're good. Not good. Why not, okay? Because the price of houses in most provinces is still too expensive for average people to buy, even using CMHC. Why? Well, we know why. The price run up through 2021 was off the fucking charts, crazy. And the other consideration, largely for average people, stagnant wages. People doing really well, have growing incomes, the top 10%, the top 5%, their income's growing good. Okay, I'm good. Everybody else, not growing good. Stagnant wages, 80%. The 80% of working people are not experiencing any massive growth in their wages, which would ever even come close to how high the price of these houses is. Okay, general unaffordability. We've got endless increases in inflation in food, and it never stops, okay? That's one of the most aggressive levels of inflation that we have, combined with, guess what? Insurance. Insurance in Canada is up nearly 7% this year. Try driving a car without insurance. Try having a house with a mortgage without insurance. Try having no insurance on those items. You're in trouble, okay? So that's up 7%. And that's something all people need. Rich people don't care about 7%. People who are just getting by, they care about 7%, a lot. So what's the real story? Government is lying about their devotion to Canadian homeowners. Stop lying. Just say, yeah, we're moving out of the home ownership business and we're going to double down on rentals. Just be honest with young Canadians. You're going to become a nation of renters.